Discover the top 5 compounding assets that can supercharge your financial growth, unlock the secrets to building long-term wealth, and learn how to invest in assets that keep working for you. All of this is within your reach when you master the principles outlined in this video. Picture this: Jacob and Maria, a young couple in their late 20s, stood at the precipice of their financial future. They were tired of living paycheck to paycheck, watching their hard-earned money disappear into thin air. Little did they know, their lives were about to change forever. One fateful evening, as they scrolled through their social media feeds, an article caught their eye: The Hidden World of Compounding Assets. Intrigued, they dove in, unaware that this moment would mark the beginning of their journey to financial freedom. As they read, their eyes widened with each passing sentence. The power of compounding assets seemed almost too good to be true. Could it really be possible to make their money work for them even while they slept? Determined to uncover the truth, Jacob and Maria embarked on a quest to discover the top 5 compounding assets that could transform their financial destiny. What they found was shocking, controversial, and ultimately life-changing. Are you ready to join Jacob and Maria on their journey? Brace yourself, because what you're about to learn might challenge everything you thought you knew about investing. Let's dive into the world of compounding assets, starting with number 5 and working our way to the most powerful asset of all. 5. Bonds, the silent wealth builder. Jacob and Maria's first discovery left them feeling conflicted. Bonds, often overlooked by young investors, held a hidden power that few understood. As they delved deeper, they uncovered a startling truth. During periods of high interest rates, long-term bonds from solid borrowers could be incredibly lucrative. It was like finding a secret passage in a familiar house. How had they never noticed this before? But there was a catch. The specter of inflation loomed large, threatening to erode the value of their hard-earned money. Jacob and Maria realized that bonds were a double-edged sword, a good supplement to their portfolio, but not without risks. They learned to watch the market like hawks, waiting for those precious moments when interest rates peaked. It was a game of patience and timing, but the potential rewards were too tempting to ignore. As they added bonds to their investment strategy, Jacob and Maria felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. They were taking their first steps into the world of compounding assets, but they knew this was just the beginning. 4. Shares, riding the waves of corporate success. With bonds under their belt, Jacob and Maria turned their attention to the stock market. What they found both thrilled and terrified them. Corporate investments offered the tantalizing promise of good long-term returns, but the volatility of the market made their heads spin. They watched as stock prices soared and plummeted, wondering how anyone could navigate such treacherous waters. But then they stumbled upon a controversial idea. What if the key to success in the stock market wasn't about picking individual winners, but about harnessing the power of the entire market? They learned about index funds and ETFs, investment vehicles that allowed them to own a piece of hundreds or even thousands of companies at once. It was like casting a wide net into the ocean of the market, catching both the big fish and the small fry. As they diversified their portfolio, spreading their investments across different sectors and regions, Jacob and Maria felt a sense of empowerment. They were no longer at the mercy of a single company's fortunes. They were tapping into the growth potential of the entire global economy. But even as their confidence grew, they couldn't shake the feeling that there was still something missing. They had conquered the world of paper assets, but what about something more tangible? 3. Real estate, the concrete jungle of wealth. Jacob and Maria's journey took an unexpected turn when they stumbled upon the world of real estate investing. At first, the idea seemed impossibly out of reach. How could they, with their modest savings, ever hope to own a property as an investment? But as they dug deeper, they uncovered strategies that made real estate investing accessible even to those without deep pockets. They learned about REITs, real estate investment trusts, crowdfunding platforms, and even house hacking, living in one unit of a multi-unit property while renting out the others. The stability of real estate was alluring, offering a physical asset they could see and touch. But with this tangibility came new challenges. They had to consider factors they'd never thought about before: the stability of different countries, potential changes in taxation, and the immobility of their investment. As they weighed the pros and cons, Jacob and Maria realized that real estate was more than just an investment. It was a lifestyle choice. It required active management, a keen eye for market trends, and the ability to think long-term. They began to see their city in a new light, analyzing neighborhoods and property values with newfound interest. But even as they explored the world of real estate, a nagging thought persisted. Was there a way to have even more control over their investments? Subscribe now and comment below what you want to watch next. Your engagement fuels our content, so don't miss out on being part of the conversation. 2. Own companies, the entrepreneurial gambit. As Jacob and Maria continued their financial journey, they stumbled upon a revelation that would change everything. While their previous investments in bonds, shares, and real estate typically yielded single-digit returns, they discovered a whole new world of possibility: investing in their own companies. The potential returns were staggering, often in the double digits. They'd been playing in the kiddie pool and suddenly found themselves diving into the deep end of wealth creation. But with great potential came great risk. Starting and running a business wasn't for the faint of heart. They'd need to develop new skills, face uncertain markets, and put in long hours. The stakes were higher than anything they'd encountered before. Jacob and Maria found themselves at a crossroads. Should they play it safe with their existing investments, or take the leap into entrepreneurship? The decision weighed heavily on them, causing sleepless nights and heated discussions. They began to see opportunities everywhere they looked. Every problem became a potential business solution. Every industry seemed ripe for disruption. But which idea should they pursue? And did they have what it took to succeed? As they grappled with these questions, they realized that there was one investment they'd overlooked, one that could make or break their success in any venture they pursued. 1. Own education, the ultimate compounding asset. In a moment of clarity, Jacob and Maria discovered the most powerful compounding asset of all, one that had been within their reach all along: their own education. This revelation hit them like a thunderbolt. While other investments could be lost or devalued, the knowledge and skills they acquired would stay with them forever. It was the ultimate hedge against uncertainty, the key to unlocking opportunities in any field. They dove headfirst into learning, devouring books, courses, and workshops on everything from financial literacy to emerging technologies. They sought out mentors, attended conferences, and engaged in passionate debates with like-minded individuals. As they invested in themselves, Jacob and Maria noticed a remarkable transformation. Their confidence grew, their perspectives broadened, and opportunities seemed to materialize out of thin air. They were no longer just passive investors. They were becoming the architects of their own financial destiny. But the true power of education as a compounding asset became clear when they faced setbacks. When a real estate deal fell through or a stock investment underperformed, their expanded knowledge allowed them to analyze what went wrong and adapt their strategies. They realized with a strong mindset and a unique skill set, they could rebuild their wealth from scratch if necessary. This revelation was both empowering and humbling. They now understood that true financial security came not from any single investment, but from their ability to learn, adapt, and create value in any circumstance. As Jacob and Maria reflected on their journey, they marveled at how far they'd come. From timid beginners to confident investors and lifelong learners, they had unlocked the secrets of compounding assets and discovered the true meaning of wealth. Their story serves as a testament to the power of compounding assets, from the stability of bonds to the entrepreneurial spirit of owning a business. But above all, it highlights the unparalleled value of investing in oneself. As you embark on your own financial journey, remember the lessons of Jacob and Maria. Diversify your investments, seize opportunities, and never stop learning. The path to financial freedom is not always easy, but with the right knowledge and mindset, it's within your reach. Your journey doesn't end here. To dive deeper into the world of finance and investment, you have two exciting options. 1. Economics in One Lesson Explained: How Bitcoin is Changing the Game. Explore how the principles of economics apply to the revolutionary world of cryptocurrency. Understand the potential of Bitcoin to reshape our financial landscape and what it means for your investment strategy. 2. The Intelligent Investor, inspired by Benjamin Graham's book, delve into the timeless wisdom of one of the greatest investment advisors of the 20th century. Learn how to develop long-term investment strategies that can weather any economic storm. Choose your next video now and continue your path to financial mastery. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and your next step awaits.